to Spotlight Arts. I'm Dr. Stephen McCarthy, Director of Arts Education for Los Angeles Unified School District.
And I'm Christopher Rodriguez, K-12 Arts Specialist.
We have identified 4 extraordinary young artists, and we've given them the opportunity to tell their stories.
Our Los Angeles Unified students are amazing. To select just 4 out of thousands was very difficult.
But with the help of our teachers and our school principals, we managed to pull it off.
We looked for leadership, artistic growth,
and love of the arts.
We found students from all across the district.
Today, we are going to visit UCLA Community School, where you will meet Jenny, an extraordinary and gifted young artist.
And Van Nuys High School, where Maya and Brandon have danced their way into our hearts.
Eagle Rock High School, where you will meet Vance, a young director honing his craft on the stage.
And Banning High School, where Sergio is screaming to the top in an outstanding show band.
So what are we waiting for?
I'm pumped.
Let's meet
our student artists.
My name is Maya Peterson.
My name is Brandon Chamin Large.
My name's Sergio Preciado.
My name is Jenny.
I'm Vance Fout.
I deserve this for my own son.
Ready to get going? Moving fans out front.
Thanks, honey.
Don't flash the bottom to the box. Put it like that. All right, sorry.
What's your name, bud? Actually, just kidding. Simon, right? Actually, yeah, are you like some kind of god or something? Hey, God, your God, Barbara Streisand, whatever you want to call me, man.
I grew up in Pasadena with my mom. I was in middle school when I was in my first, theater program. So I moved in with my dad here in Eagle Rock. I played football for 4 years. This year specifically, I decided it's going to be my last year. I'm going to direct my time towards what I feel.
And that was theater for me. I'm in 3 stage classes right now. 2 stage tech classes, this theater production class. And it's what I look forward to at the end of the day. It's the end of my day. It's just the best way to finish it is just, transitioning out of school and going into being myself again.
My name is Jenny. I am a senior at UCLA Community School. I've been here since I've been in 4th grade. So I like to make art simply because it's therapeutic. All the art that I make to really just reflect on my experiences as Jenny Park, and I make art because it's fun. I like to make art, and just every painting, drawing, animation, I make because not only because I want to get better, but because I want to be better at telling my own story.
My name's Sergio Preciado. I'm a junior here at Banning High School, and I'm part of the marching band. In the band, I play the trumpet, and I am the section leader of the trumpets.
Though I have 1 year left of high school, it's something I want to do for my whole 4 years, and even after that, whether it's in college, I don't know where I'd be. I'd be a mess with everything that I've been through. I wouldn't be who I am right now. And the music was a really big part in me getting through all my problems, whether it was academically or problems at home or personal problems within myself. And the music helped me. I spoke my problems through my music.
My name is Maya Peterson.
My name is Brandon Chamin Large.
We are currently at Van Nuys High School.
We are in one of our dance studios. This is the safe space where we're able to dance and just let all our feelings out.
Specifically in the arts, my passion is dance. I've been doing it since I was 2.5, and I've been loving it ever since.
Dance is completely my way of just letting go and releasing any tension that I have throughout the day.
Well, teacher can give students so much, basic skills, space, and kids can come and absorb that and go with it. For Jenny, she took what little I gave her and she flew with it.
Art has definitely played a role in me overcoming my challenges. And so art has really helped in expressing myself and expressing emotions that I couldn't get out physically. It's been therapeutic.
When kids do art, they're actually literally solving problems. The more problems they solve with their head, I think less likely they'll use this when they get into trouble. Art is process, and I think life is process. And I want them to see that life, some parts are hard, some parts are a little easier, and over time it gets better and better.
I'm Mylene Kipe. I'm the proud principal of Eagle Rock Junior Senior High School. Arts has been integral to our school. It's not extra, it's part of our core curriculum. As an International Baccalaureate World School, it's one of 8 required subjects.
I think students often do struggle with being in athletics or being in the arts, and it just means that they're multi-talented. And with Vance, I know he struggled because he really loved the coach, but his heart just wasn't in football.
With theater, he's able to combine just his rich creativity through writing and his story that he co-wrote with another student. 10 Years Gone was just an absolute beautifully written expression of love, of dedication, and military service.
You know, that's what I think's magical about the arts program. It's not about you being an English student or, you know, a math student. It's about you being who you are and applying it.
There is a lot of things that are pretty unique to Banning High School, but the one thing that comes to mind right away is the sense of family. There's a sense of pride in the community and the generations of families that have gone through this school, the pride for the school. And I think Sergio exhibits all of those traits, and he really values those particular attributes of the community and the school, and he just blends right in as being a leader on this campus.
He expresses his feelings towards music, towards the trumpet, towards the parades and everything, and without that I feel like he wouldn't be himself. I feel like he'd be a little more like, maybe, I guess, frustrated, or he wouldn't know how to take it out on anything. So I feel like that helps him like clear his mind, be more active, not really think about what's going on at home, but think about music. So without it, I feel like he wouldn't be Sergio.
I often realize that if I'm having really hard time at school, if I had a lot of tests, I feel like I didn't do well or anything.
Studying and having my head in the books, it's nice to go to the studio afterwards and just be free to express myself and move my body and feel and express my emotions and feel free.
By the time one class is over, I already feel better about myself, and it's just my way of expressing.
When I arrived at Van Nuys High School 5 years ago, there was one dance teacher. So we have now increased the dance program to 2 teachers because I'm aware that in order to offer an array of courses for students, you need to have at least 10 options. So I was able to find 2 amazing teachers, and I was very excited about that.
Dance, I think, is special because you are the instrument and you can express anything you want.
Students of mine have told me that they only came to school on a certain day because they had a rehearsal in dance class, and that was the most important reason for them. But they went to school, attended the entire day just so that they could go to that dance class.
In addition, we have 2 instrumental teachers, 1 choral teacher, a theater teacher, and a film teacher. So the performing arts has a wonderful array of teachers.
And I don't think that a lot of people realize that what's keeping kids in school and in class is that arts class, specifically dance.
My teachers have definitely put a lot of work into the art form that they teach us. I know my teachers here at Van Nuys High School, Miss Partita, she works really hard inside and outside of the classroom, thinking of choreography and different combos for us to practice with. And all this practice helps us ultimately perform on stage.
It's about you being who you are and applying it to, an art form that you fulfill. And you always get it done. You can't not get theater done. It's necessary.
And so it's just been interesting seeing him evolve from this sort of frenetic guy, big personality, lots of energy, to really harnessing that and focusing.
Hey man, I can respect that, okay?
Yeah, our friendship is like a bud now. But soon, it'll blossom into a rose of brohood. Dude? Like our friendship is soon.
So Miss Kasam told us we were going to be writing our own plays, our own short plays.
Yeah, so we got to writing it. I wanted to write a horror piece initially. We weren't sure where we were going with the play. But as we put it together, it gained structure. It was going to be 10 plays. I was going to co-write one with a fellow student.
I just know that he has so many ideas and he's just ready to go for everything. He won't hold back.
I took her film class a couple times, Miss Kasam. So I was familiar with, screenwriting.
One of the things that I love about her is she trusts her students so much and she believes in us so much that she gave us the whole show.
I really think that it gives kids a sense of self-esteem, and they get to be creative and they get to present ideas, and they're able to express themselves.
Well, we believe in seeing the student as a whole person, and so we try to encourage students to explore their passions. The tenets of our school is to be a self-directed, passionate learner. So we want students to be exposed to a variety of different genres and a variety of different subject areas. And what Jenny's been exposed to has allowed her to take classes in robotics, or to take classes that are dealing with issues of social justice, but also to explore her passions in art.
As you can see, look around you here. It's art everywhere. The district is supporting even our campus with all these different artists to come paint murals here, and kids are actually living in art. This is a living museum, and every time they go to a class, they're looking at art. So they're living in art, and district provided this for our kids.
This campus is unique in that we have a lot of outdoor art, and it was part of the campus as it was designed, but in the past few years we've brought in professional street artists and muralists to add additional pieces. And so we want art to be a part of our community and a place that the community can come in and enjoy the art. Art should be shared, and we want all of our students to be exposed to it. We promote trips to some of the galleries at UCLA, and we want our students, we've had a weekend service at the Hammer Museum at UCLA because we want our students to be exposed not only to art, but to feel comfortable going to museums and to be comfortable in working on pieces of art. I think that in my experience, both as a teacher and as an administrator, students stop creating or feeling like they're artistic because they don't feel successful. And what we want them to do is push past that and to become more exposed and be given more opportunities with different types of art, so that they can, whether they're talented in visual arts like Jenny is, or whether they're into theater or drama or even music. We'd really like to have our students pursue those passions and be given a chance to develop them.
The one thing that I see with Sergio is that Sergio is a very calm and very compassionate young man. I think he cares about his peers, cares about his teachers, cares about his community. I think it reflects on how much he cares about his family. And I know that there are some hardships that he has dealt with since middle school. And so I think with those character traits, it helps him to cope.
It says hope, and I've been wearing this ever since I found out that my mom was diagnosed with cancer. And every time I perform, I put it on to represent all the women out there with cancer, not just like women in general, but anyone and it helps me feel more safe and more comfortable playing, knowing that I have a part of my mom with me every single time that I step out on the field or every time I perform. It just makes me feel more comfortable.
So I was diagnosed with cancer 2 or 3 years ago, and I didn't expect him to be so mature. And what I like about him is that he'll never make me feel sad. He always with me, and he talks about the trumpet, about the music, about doing things at school, sport. And you know, when you talk to your kids about things that they really like, you know that you're doing like a good job, like a mother. And he makes me forget about what I'm going through or what I'm, you know, what I have to. I don't know how to explain myself, but he's a really great kid who knows how to go and what to do at the right time and at the right place. And I'm very proud of him because everything that we've been through, he's learned to like take it out on something not bad, but something very nice, like with music. I'm just very proud of him for everything that he's done and he's accomplished.
Teacher-student relationships are really great. At least I feel really safe going to them and just saying, hey, this is what's going on.
When you're on stage, you basically have one shot to do everything that you've practiced months for. So basically, you just have to put yourself out there and do your best, and whatever happens is okay, because as long as you're doing what you love, I enjoy being on stage.
Sometimes if we're doing improv in class or anything, we can use that opportunity to just let everything show.
Maya and Brandon are wonderful. They are the type that you can throw choreography at, and they are willing to try anything.
These teachers know that if the student comes and tries their best, they're in the show. If you're gonna come every day and participate, then you deserve to be in the show. It doesn't matter what size you are, if you can jump quite as high, you're there and you're in it and you feel as good as the kid who jumped super high. Your parents are as proud, you're as proud, your principal was as proud. So it is just something everybody here, we say be respectful, be responsible, and be restorative. That's what we want people to do. Respect one another, care for one another, and when something goes wrong, you restore it back.
It's built a work ethic inside me that makes it so if I have something that I can't do in a dance class that I know that I'm gonna have to end up performing on stage, I know I'm going to have to spend time outside of the studio working on it. And so that transferred into any of my schoolwork or anything like that.
If there was no dance at Van Nuys High School, I don't think I would be as expressive as I am today. I believe that the arts that I receive at school really helps me be who I am, and it helps me express who I am inside.
I go through troves of secret organizations plotting to vile and violent death. But she was successful and died shortly thereafter.
Yeah, it's true. I lost most of my fingers, but I grew them back in heaven.
It was a pretty long process, about 3 months of work, maybe more. You know, it all started with the writing process that happened at the beginning of the year. You know, it was talked about over the summer, you know, some preparation.
He won't hold back, and he'll just put his whole energy into it.
I listened to a Led Zeppelin song. It kind of brought together a concept for me, you know, just, you know, the scheme of time, you know, and also time was in my mind because it was a bit of a crunch to finish writing it. So, you know, I put it together. You know, a bit of a war story, you know, but not from the soldier's perspective, but from the wife's perspective, you know, who he was leaving at home, you know, and the decades following, you know, just what happens during war. So, you know, we started casting it, you know, and I chose to be the director because I was kind of set on how this was going to roll out. You know, it could have played out in several ways, but I wanted it to be my way.
And it's not this, I mean, no offense against math or history or any of our academics, all of those are necessary, but the arts really give kids a chance to just open themselves up and be able to be imaginative. So that's why it's important. There's a part of us that sometimes doesn't get acknowledged, and that's years ago when people were cutting arts classes and arts programs. It was dangerous. It was dangerous. Kids were not wanting to come to school. because it's so militant. It's like you need an outlet. You need a creative outlet.
And I have my other two kids that we like to do, like producers and singers and dancers. You know, now I think that is the right time for them here at school and have support for many other people helping them. And I know that if I stay or if I die, I will have someone here who will do things for me. My dreams will be on them, not just on me.
Your mom is your world. Like, she gave you your life. It made me think, without my mom, what am I? I don't think I can do anything without my mom. My mom's she's my cape on my band uniform. She helps me, she lights my day up. I was comfortable enough to let everything out in front of my band director, my friends, the principal. The whole school has been a huge, huge help. Like, I don't know what I would have done my whole high school experience if it wasn't for them. You know, I probably would have been crazy. I probably would have not been the person I am today. And I feel like every song and every type of music has its own story.
So students who are gifted and funny and creative, they are our stars, and so we know that artists look differently, that artists don't come in one shape, and so students like Vance, who are athletic former football players, can express themselves in whatever form they'd like.
It really came to during rehearsals. You know, we stayed 3-4 hours a day after school, and you know, when my piece came up, you know, it had to be me out there, you know, working with Miss Kassam. She wasn't going to call out anything. You know, I had to see through what I wanted to get done, and in between that and me, you know, working in my other pieces, you know, it was in between me going out there, me putting on a man bun hipster stock character I was, and then putting on, you know, a robe and flip-flops to be God.
I didn't believe it was gonna be. Yeah, man. I was gonna totally unlimited. Unlimited until we run out. Yeah. Hello. Hello. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, don't swear. Oh no, that's me, God. Yeah. No, yeah, dude, no, that's me. Yeah. I've been running this party for the past 3 weeks, dude. Yeah.
This program is very, very unique. You know, towards any other theater program I've heard of or been involved in, you know, it's all I think I'm good at. Having these opportunities presented to me is something really special and something I would have never saw coming.
I'll live my life this time. I promise. Okay? I promise. I'm ready. All right, you go back. Hard one, okay? Okay. I give you life!
The arts has played such an important role in my life. Not only has it been a form of therapy, but it has also served to help me understand the world that I live in. And it's helped me to really reflect upon who I am as a person and my role in this society, and how like my role as an artist can further impact my community. And I can really see that through my art teacher, Miss Maddox. Seeing Miss Maddox in her own environment really inspired me to just make my own art the way I wanted to. And arts education it's so important because it teaches kids, like, just do what you want, do what you need to do to get your voice out there, but at the same time, don't be afraid of what others think of you or what limitations may be placed upon you.
Any skill that you have has to build, whether it's reading, writing, or adding and subtracting. And, you know, what kids know by first, second, and third grade is going to determine their reading level for the rest of their life. It's the same thing in the arts. It's very difficult, and there are some, you know, aberrations to it where people start maybe at 13 or something and become really famous. But if we want kids to really learn and build, it's going to help them. If kids learn how to read music in 3rd grade, it's going to help them learn to read. If they learn any of these skills translate, and the younger they learn them, it's going to build and help them as they grow.
My principal, Ms. Gardea, is very important to what's going on here because she's super important, supportive of the arts. She is an artist herself, and she knows how important it is, and things that we ask her for, she delivers. She knows that kids don't have access to buy their own, say, dance wear and costumes and even point shoes, and she's been supportive of that, and she tries to fund that however she can.
And what we want to do as students is to have arts where we have the opportunity to express ourselves, not to read the expression of others from a long time ago or things that we won't necessarily use throughout our entire life.
The arts is truly an integral part of our education. It helps students release their inner selves and express themselves and truly shine.